the bonus objective number 2 is available on Rifts to Core Hall, and Raynor has used his Hyperion to try and deal with this bonus objective. So Hyperion seems to be okay here, but it is getting hit by corruption. So Raynor has decided that the way to deal with the bonus objective is to use a Banshee Airstrike. But if you do play Raynor even a little bit, and he's using the Rough Rider prestige, you should be well aware that the Banshee Airstrike does not hit air units, so the Hyperion does end up tactical jumping away, and this is one of the bugs here that is available with Warzone. If you're playing Warzone Ally, the Banshee Airstrikes are pretty much invincible right now. But Raynor has decided, okay, he needs to deal with both objectives, so he tactical jumps a set of battlecruisers across. 5 battlecruisers have come here to try and deal with this. He does have Yamato cannons, but he's not using Yamato cannons to deal with a pirate ship. Pirate ship's going to use his bombing run again, and no move out of the way here, and all of Raynor's battlecruisers have died from that one pirate ship. Warzone wants to go and do the bonus objective on Void Thrashing because their ally Stukov has not cleared that out, so they're getting their army into position and they are ready to go. So they have an army of their Void Rays, a couple of Centurions, and a couple of Oracles as well, and now the attack wave has stormed. 1 storm comes down, 2 storms comes down, Black Hole comes out to try and stop the attack wave from dealing more damage. Now the Archangel is joining in on the fight. 3rd storm comes down on top of the Void Rays, and Void Rays are actually all clumped up, so they are soaking up so much damage, and now all that is left is this Archangel to fire a few more volleys, and that is pretty much the entirety of Warzone's army just all gone. But that is not really a problem because Warzone has a lot of Stargates. They have a total of 8 Stargates, 2 cybernetic scores, 4 gateways, and 3 forges, which they are getting out all their upgrades. They're getting their ground armor, their ground attack upgrades, their shield upgrades, air armor, and air attack upgrades. And additionally, they also have 35 workers on this Nexus, but more importantly, they have 41 workers on this Nexus here. They have adequate economy. All is good for Warzone. The first attack wave has spawned on Rifts to Core Hall, and it is making its way towards the players' bases. You can see the Swan has already put down a couple of flaming berries, and there should be more than enough to handle the first attack wave, as long as it is Zerg. So, Abathur macroing up pretty much like normal, and these flaming berries are ready to go, but as soon as Abathur sees the attack wave, he puts down some toxic nests on top of the flaming berries, and it means that they cannot pop out of the ground, and it means that these Zerglings are going to just instantly jump right on top of Swan's base, and that is pretty much the end of Swan's base completely. Oh, it actually might end up surviving now. The Zerglings do change their minds, and there we go. That is the end of Swan's base, and this game actually resulted in a loss, which is why it was not cast in Rockslapping Champions, but there we go. Instantly sabotaged by Abathur. Stukov has, first of all, a very large number of barracks, all with tech labs, which is again an interesting decision because tech labs are only required for research. But here's the kicker. Stukov is going for the frightful Flesh Welder prestige, which means that you should be going for a mech build here, but he has gone for a mass barracks build, and now we have the march of the barracks, and these barracks now are going to be moved forward on the front line and repositioning themselves for a more tactical position. And you can see what is going on here is that Stukov is actually putting down more tech labs on all his barracks. I have absolutely no idea why, I have no idea how, I have no idea where, and this one barracks is also randomly stuck over there for some no apparent reason. But now we again have more barracks coming up, and another one that's being built here by Stukov, the frightful Flesh Welder. The Haka has just used Morvar on Chain of Ascension to clear the small enemy camp, and notice that we have Transmutation active, which means whenever enemy units kill player units, they will start to transmutate up. And since the Haka has finished clearing, he decides to A-click Morvar right into this enemy base, and Morvar spawns those little locusts. Those locusts are just going to start feeding the transmutation mutator, and we have one hybrid dominator already. Another hybrid behemoth pops up, another hybrid behemoth as well, some more Lokis as well coming up, and now Morvar is pretty much completely overwhelmed, and as soon as she gets killed off, it will also mean that whichever unit gets the killing blow will transmutate up here, and we have another hybrid behemoth, and now the Haka's Guardians all just get completely wiped, and all that is left now are a set of very, very upset hybrid behemoths, and they are going to be moving towards poor little Swan's base. He did nothing wrong, and we have some storms now being cast onto his SCV line, and some more Goliaths here, and they decide to run away because this is pretty much a lost cause. And yeah, lots of hybrid behemoths are coming up here. There's another carrier here as well that is just getting so much extra damage output from its little interceptors. And now the Swan's SCVs actually end up getting caught up here as well. They're trying to repair each other. And the Haka jumps into the fray, and this again might not be too wise because the Haka is a hero unit. Feeding heroic units into these hybrid behemoths may not be the best idea, because if a heroic unit gets killed, you instantly get a max tier hybrid. So you get either a hybrid dominator or a hybrid behemoth. Storms coming down on top of Swan's army, and now there is another wave here of hybrids as well, and they are moving towards these players' bases. Over here there is a huge slugfest in the middle, plasma blast going off here, lots of hybrid dominators, and some Tyrannosaurs here also ending up dying. Swan's army has been completely shattered by just a slew of units and hybrids that have been spawned from transmutation, all because of that one Morvar. The Haka loses one of his primal wardens. The Haka has also ended up dying. He's going to jump in, uses his roar, tries to disable the hybrids, and he actually does manage to do that, but again, there are a few more hybrid behemoths here, and they are just causing so many problems for these commanders. Over here, these Tyrannosaurs have actually finished duking it out. The Haka gonna go back, trying to slap these units around, and remember, we also have Inspiration, so it is going to be somewhat problematic. And all that is left now are 3 hybrids over here, some Ultralisks, and I think this will eventually end up getting cleared out. There's a little bit of micro here for Swan. Swan is trying to get out of the way. Another concentrate being done to try and stop pushing Janara, to try and stop the hybrids from pushing Janara off the edge of the cliff, and some more Tyrannosaurs here as well. 2 more hybrids over here, 1 each on the Haka, and all that is left now is this 1 hybrid behemoth, which ends up getting cleared out. And we have some more of Amon's units now that are going to be pushing Janara just a little bit forward. So commanders will have to try and deal with it. Finally, a pulse cannon comes down. Janara's heels were right off the edge of the cliff, but they have eventually managed to pull this through. Lots of losses, but they're still in the game. And believe it or not, this game ended in a victory after 30 or so minutes.